not have to be boring and routine. There are so many nursing jobs out there that go beyond bedside, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. Stay tuned. Welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are already part of the family, for those of you who are new, welcome. My name is Kiara Selena. I am a licensed practical nurse, and on my channel I mainly make nursing related videos, but I also do a bit of beauty and hair. I quickly wanted to talk about taking nursing beyond bedside. If you're anything like me and you don't like doing the same thing for too long, you like to change things up a little bit, you need to understand that getting a nursing license is literally like the key to freedom and diversity, honestly, because nursing doesn't always have to be bedside. There is so many things that you could do with a nursing diploma or degree, and that is what I want to share today with you guys. Is nurse esthetician. If you guys are anything like me, you like skincare, makeup, beauty, things like that, then looking into becoming a nurse esthetician may be right for you. They get paid pretty well, and the good thing also is that you get to make tips. So the difference between a nurse esthetician and a regular esthetician is that a nurse esthetician will usually work in a medical beauty spa where they may do things like Botox, laser treatments, things like that. Things that are a little bit more invasive than just a regular esthetician. A regular esthetician may do skincare, may be able to do things like chemical peels and stuff like that, but they can't really get too medical. So they do chemical peels, they may do facials, they may do makeup and stuff like that, but a nurse esthetician will do like injections, fillers, and things like that under the supervision of a doctor. So you are still working as an esthetician, it's just the things that you can do are a little bit more advanced because you are a nurse. Next one is school nursing. Obviously, we've all had a school nurse in elementary or in high school, and their jobs are really relaxed. Usually they don't work 5 days a week. Sometimes they do, but even if they work five days a week, the good thing is that they're off when the students or the kids are off. So they have all of summer off, they have spring break off. So you get to have all these off days like in your year, and that's really cool, especially the times where everybody wants to be off. Christmas, spring break, summer, those are the days everybody wants off, and you get them off if you're a school nurse. Your responsibilities aren't really that major. I mean, if somebody falls and hurts themselves, you will make sure they have no fractures, give them a band-aid. You will be the one responsible for vaccinations. You will be the ones who will educate the students, especially if you're working in a high school, you're the one who's going to do the sex ed explanations, if not their science teacher. And in my high school as well, our high school was partnered up with a clinic, and the nurse that worked at our school also worked at that clinic. So she would do STD tests at school, swabs. She would basically give you the swab and the little bottle to put your swab in. You would go in the bathroom, do your swab, and give her back the bottle, and she would take it to the clinic, get it tested, and once the clinic receives the results, they would tell her, and she would call you into her office at school. So that was also something that was really cool. So you would be responsible for doing things like that, just immunizations and all the other basic stuff. So it's a very relaxed job. You work independently, and you get all the good days off. Number 3 is legal nurse consultant. Yes, you can actually work in the law field as a nurse. So you're gonna kind of be a nurse, but really in the legal field, super involved with paralegals and lawyers and all of the legal professionals and stuff like that. And what your responsibility is as a legal nurse consultant is basically to work on cases where there's medical malpractice or insurance fraud, things like that, and you would be the one translating medical terminology. So there are times where medical facilities may have to send over charts to a legal team because, I don't know, somebody's suing or something like that, and obviously this legal team will not understand the medical terminology. So one of your main responsibilities would be to translate that to them so that they can understand what it is that they're reading. And from what I understand, they get paid very well. Have you ever been on a cruise ship and wondered what would happen if you were to have a heart attack or just pass out, or what? What would happen if you're in the middle of the ocean and you just have a heart attack, God forbid? Well, there's actually a medical team on the cruise ship, and one of the people or one of the professions involved in that medical team is a nurse. So you will have a doctor or multiple doctors, multiple nurses. There is actually medical professionals on that ship. And some of you guys may not know this, but ships actually are very well equipped for emergencies. Apparently, they even have mini x-ray rooms and mini pharmacies and stuff like that, so that if anything happens, well, doctors and nurses can work together to, try to maintain that person's health until they can actually get to shore and get that person admitted to an actual hospital. So you can actually become a cruise ship nurse. I never thought about this. I just learned this recently, and I think that that is really cool. So yes, travel nursing is cool, but imagine being a cruise ship nurse where you're not only traveling within your country, you get to actually travel, go to islands, cruise all of Europe. You're getting off at each port and stuff too. You're not confined to the ship, so you get to go out on the ports, get to go out, explore the islands or wherever it is that the cruise ship is going, and you get to get paid really, really well. You get to enjoy all the little perks of the cruise ship and stuff like that. It's awesome. Honestly, if I could be a cruise ship nurse, I would definitely do that. Next is case management nurse, and I like to think of them a little bit like social workers because they kind of, what they do is basically along the lines of a social worker, but I think they work with a social worker, and they will work as a team to kind of try to determine where they should put a patient or what facility fits the patient's situation best. So they worry or they focus on the long-term care aspect of whatever case it is that they're looking at. So, and then they will take it from there. So let me just explain a little bit, because I know that was like a really whack explanation. Let's say somebody hurts themselves, they fall and they break a hip on the ice, and they get admitted to post-op ortho on an ortho floor because they broke a bone or whatever. And the PT is there, the OT is there, everyone's there trying to get this person up and walking, and everybody's basically gathering data to see if the person will be fit to go home or if they will have to go to a rehab facility for further rehabilitation. So basically the case management nurse will be there as well with the social worker, with everybody else, with the rest of the team, and basically based on the data that everybody is gathering as a team, they will work with the social worker to determine, okay, is this person able to go home, or should we get this person admitted to a rehab center because they're not ready to go home and we can't keep them on this unit for too long. So things like that. Or if you are on a unit where somebody elderly comes in and they're in their beginning stages of Alzheimer's, or they're getting deeper into their stages of Alzheimer's, well, they will come on a unit, and the case management nurse will basically work with the social worker to kind of determine, is this person safe to go home, or should we admit this person to a long-term care facility? That's why I say they're kind of like a social worker. Next is a correctional nurse or a prison nurse, and basically it's nursing in a prison or in a jail, and you will be performing routine or emergency treatments for prisoners. So for example, if you have a prisoner who is diabetic, well, obviously they are not going to allow prisoners to have syringes and needles and stuff, so they will have to come to you to get these routine things done. Or if somebody falls, you would do wound dressing, or if ever there's an emergency, you'd participate in that emergency situation with the doctor who's there, if there's a doctor there. If not, you'll be alone, and you would basically just assess the situation and determine whether or not you are able to get this person back to a healthy state by yourself, or if the person needs to go to the hospital. Then you have nurse administrator, which is kind of like the charge nurse that you see on the unit, who's never really there bedside, but sometimes they do peek in bedside just to see what's going on. You can always go to that person and ask them questions if you have questions. They are the head nurse or, the charge nurse, but they're basically responsible for staff management, financial resource management. They'll oversee staff, make sure that everything is going smoothly, making sure that everybody's doing what they have to do. If ever you have a complaint, this is probably the person you would go complain to. So, they're basically like the leader. They're obviously, like I said, they're usually the charge nurse or the head nurse of the unit or whatever. So they're kind of the ones just making sure that their unit is running smoothly. All the beyond bedside nursing jobs I have to offer for you guys today. Obviously, there is so much more out there. So if you know any other non-bedside nursing jobs, leave them down in the comment section below. I hope you liked this video. If you did, as usual, please like and share. And if you want to see more content like this and you are not yet subscribed, please subscribe and turn on your notification bell so you get notified whenever I post future content. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I really hope to see you guys in my next one. Bye.